Let's talk about that first deal, Hendra. When you started raising money, what was the feeling like? I mean, was it? I mean, I can tell you my first deal. I still get afraid when I'm looking at deals. That fear of, are we doing the right thing? We're placing capital and we're buying deals internally ourselves, but we still have employees investing in it. We still have the partners. My son's getting in on deals. Walk me through that first deal. What were your thoughts? What was going through your mind on that first deal?
Feel like the sky is crashing on me. That's a feeling. I mean, I literally pulled on my laptop. I still remember that I placed all my family in the living room. I go in the connecting my laptop to my big screen TV and explaining like, oh, this property, why multifamily, why Dallas, and so forth, right? And yeah, it's pretty crazy. But there is the thing though. One thing that I learned that people don't invest in the deal. People invest because they trust you. That relationship. People don't really look at the number, but because they trust you and you believe in that deal, that's how much of trust they gave it to you. They're willing to invest together with you.
Man, I was going to ask you what learning lessons or what mistakes did you make on the first deal? That's probably the biggest learning lesson or mistake that we do is where we go into our family, we overwhelm them. Here's the RRR, here's the cap rate, here's the density, here's the median income, no flood zone, and they're like, Hendra Mercy, what are you guys talking about? I don't even know. And then a confused mind always says no. That's the reality. But if you say to them, food, clothing, and shelter, food, clothing, and apartments, basic human need, get out of the stock market. We're financial stewards. We're putting money into this deal. Would you like to join us? I'm offering you this opportunity. Game changer, completely different. So I can picture you in that room right now with your family huddled over with your laptop. You got spreadsheets, you got a PowerPoint presentation going on, and they must be like, "What is he showing me?" So that must have been a really cool feeling, but at the same time, it must have been overwhelming at the same time because you're talking to family members. They don't know the brand Hendra and Mercy as multifamily investors. They know you guys as just the family, correct?
Exactly. Yeah, it was overwhelming, definitely though. I mean, yeah, I was really nervous back then. I mean, I couldn't. I mean, like, how did you know about this information? How do you trust this operator, right? How do you know this guy? How do you know all this knowledge? Like, well, we invested in ourselves too. I mean, in education wise, right? That's how we
Hmm.
learn.
Hmm. I love that. Anything else stick out in that first deal? Anything else as far as learning wise? What you learned on that first deal, closing that first deal?
One thing that one thing that we learned that there's a lot of people that you can add value with, right? I mean, don't feel like I don't have anything to offer. You always have something to offer, but you need to create a brand and make your name out there.
Hmm.
And then in somewhere somehow you could be boots on the ground. You can become the capital raise if you're in the city like in New York or California, or you can become like an asset management if you have some. Look at Mercy. I mean, right now she's coming from operational. I mean, banquet event planning, but she's pretty good with operation. She's becoming a great asset manager in my opinion.
Hmm.
Uh, that kind of thing that you can add value to the team. Don't feel
Hmm.
like you start everything from zero. You do have something to add value with.
I'd like to share a story with everybody here right now, and it was a little over a year. It was a year ago, and I remember being in the boot camp at Jake and Gino boot camp. It was a manage right boot camp, and I remember walking the property, and Hendra's walking with me, and he's like, "I need this manage right now," and it was amazing to see the growth because in the very beginning, everyone we're all focused on buying the assets and financing them properly, and then to see the growth of just within 2 years to understand, wow, this is a business, and I need to really learn how to manage these properties, and to be able to walk with other Jake and Gino students, to be able to go into these units, to be able to get on the bus tour, to be able to network, and to show how you can provide value, and then bring that back to your team and go, wow, I know how to turn a unit in 5 days now. I know where rents should be. I know how to like evict residents out there. I know how to do a turn process, all of these things. And I remember walking on that property with you and saying, wow, we've come a long way, but we need to be here learning this information. And for everybody out there, it's a lot of work. I mean, it really is a lot of work. You guys have sacrificed weekends to come to these events. You guys do the meetup. You guys have been on countless webinars and Zooms and capital raises.